Welcome, gentle listener. I am Baltimore, your faithful servant, and I wish to introduce you to the forces, factions, and faces of the Warhammer 40k universe, the grim darkness of the far future, where there is no time for peace, there is only time for war. And today, we are to look in very brief, criminally almost, at one of the greatest heroes of the Imperium, both present and past. And there are few who can claim the personal and chapter glory that has been accrued by the great wolf himself. Of course, I speak of Logan Grimnar, the chapter master of the Volca Fenrica, the Space Wolves. Now this is, again, a short entry, but this is because he will appear in more entries planned for next year, so we will see much more of this mighty wolf very soon. So I thought a brief entry would be prudent sooner rather than later. Plus, of course, the obvious reason we shall discuss after the lore. But as usual, for the very basics, let us lean on existing wisdom. To quote Logan Grimnar, the Great Wolf. A warrior born, Logan fought his way through the ranks of the Space Wolves under the watchful eye of Ulrich the Slayer. Despite the fact that Logan is one of the longest-serving chapter masters in the Imperium, to this day Ulrich calls him Young Grimnar, and it is a sign of his friendly demeanor and respect for his mentor that Logan allows this to pass without comment. Unlike the stoic and formal lords of so many other chapters, Logan is charismatic and likable in the extreme, as apt to reward his men with a hearty slap on the back and a tankard of Fenrisian mead, as with an official commendation. The King of Fenris respects those who fight, drink, and eat with him, and few besides. Logan's leadership of the Space Wolves has endured for over 500 years. During that time, the old wolf has led his chapter to victories beyond counting against tyrants and terrors alike, humbling the warlords of chaos and pushing back the omnipresent alien threat that gnaws at the edges of humanity's domain. When written in full, Logan's saga stretches from one side of the Great Hall to the other, for the old wolf hunts evil wherever he finds it, and without hesitation. Though some cynics doubt the factual validity of many of the Fenrisian sagas, believing them riddled with hyperbole, none can deny that during his reign as Great Wolf, Logan Grimnar has been instrumental in some of the greatest military victories of the 41st millennium. The first war for Armageddon would likely have ended in disaster had not Logan led his men to the planet's defense. Despite only having recently risen to leadership of the chapter, Logan led a campaign that ultimately saw the defeat of the World Eaters Legion and their demon primarch, Angron. At the height of the conflict, Grimnar slew a mighty lord of the World Eaters in personal combat, claiming the fallen champion's baleful axe as a token of his victory. The fabled axe Morkai was forged from the very same weapon. Clad in his ornate Terminator armor, Grimnar towers over all save his mighty champion, Arjak. His beard is long and his fangs full, yet age has not made him weary. Logan's armor is wreathed with the pelt of the infamous Thunderwolf Fellclaw, its gilded skull acting as a crown above his head. Fellclaw once terrorized the northern plains of Azerheim, which lie in the shadow of Fangard Mountain. Logan took it upon himself to track the deadly creature to its lair. Alone, naked, and unarmed, Logan fought his quarry on even terms, eventually biting out the Thunderwolf's throat with his fangs after a hard-fought struggle. Seeking shelter from a fierce ice storm, Logan entered the beast's lair, and there found two lone wolf cubs. It was clear that Fellclaw's ferocity had, in part, been due to a paternal instinct to protect its young. Unwilling to leave them to their fate, Logan gathered up the young cubs in Fellclaw's pelt and returned to the Fang. The pair eventually grew into powerful Thunderwolves, and have remained fiercely loyal to their master for more than 500 years. When Grimnar rides to battle in the war chariot Stormrider, it is these beasts that draw the Fenrisian relic. Though Logan has won countless victories, it is not just against the enemies of the Imperium that he has waged his wars. he has willingly led his forces into battle against Imperial institutions, whose actions he has deemed threatening to the Space Wolves or the civilians of worlds he has saved. This has led to many accusations of rebellion, heresy, and treason being leveled at Logan in his chapter, along with the usual rumors of genetic deviancy. However, the fact that the old wolf is ready to meet his detractors on the field of battle is undeniably one of the reasons why these allegations are not taken further. The senior adepts of the Administratum know from experience that it is better to have the Space Wolves as allies than as enemies. Nevertheless, no matter how unorthodox his methods, Logan Grimnar is one of humanity's greatest commanders and a true hero of the Imperium. In all his years, Logan Grimnar has never been tested as he has since the opening of the Great Rift. The warp storms make a nightmare of travel and communications, with more pleas for aid coming every day than can possibly be helped. Additionally, it has taken all of Logan's leadership efforts to ensure the new Primaris Marines have been able to integrate into the tight-knit brotherhoods. It is a relief to the Great Wolf when he can take to the field of battle himself, exercising his frustration upon the foes that beset the Imperium. The Axe Morkai. Logan Grimnar's weapon is a trophy of war, prized from the dead hands of a powerful champion of the Dark Gods. It was upon the battlefields of Armageddon that the Great Wolf won his fabled axe, amid the blood and fire of the battle on the banks of the River Charon. After hours of bitter fighting, the river ran red with blood, and the bodies of cultists and traitor guardsmen were piled high. World Eater Chaos Space Marines attempted to cross the river in Baroque armored barges or over bridges melded from the bodies of screaming slaves, the traitors charging across the flesh structures to reach the Space Wolves. Seeing a chance to turn the tide, Logan Grimnar led his Wolf Guard into the gore-clouded water to meet the warriors of Khorne head-on. The Chaos Champion Akor Doomflayer charged out of the ranks of the World Eaters, his rune-encrusted axe cutting down two of Grimnar's Wolf Guard in the span of a few moments. Suddenly, the Great Wolf found himself fighting for his life, Doomflayer's insane fury pushing him back. With an incoherent cry, the Khornate champion struck the flat of Grimnar's Frostblade, shattering it into glistening shards. Doomflayer's moment of triumph was his last, as the Great Wolf lunged inside his executioner's swing, ripping off his skull-faced helm with a clawed hand and sinking his fangs into the exposed throat underneath. As Doomflayer fell into the gory river, Grimnar snatched up his opponent's crimson steel axe, cutting a path back to his Wolf Guard through knots of homicidal Khornate berserkers. For the rest of their campaign, Logan fought with the axe, and upon his return to Fenris he had it reforged, dubbing it the Axe Morkai. It was this relic that penetrated Magnus the Red's arcane defenses in the Battle of the World Wolf's Gullet, for the Demon Prince had guarded against every weapon forged within the Imperium, but not those without. End quote. Logan Grimnar is a being of two sides. There is the great hero of the Imperium, who stands firm in the face of any, internal or external, of the Imperium. His loyalty is to the Russ and to the Emperor, none other, and the Wolves see their mandate as coming directly from the Allfather himself, their name for the Emperor. So compared to this, all other sources of authority are as ice on a wolf's butt. He bends the knee to none. Like the god Thor, he is pulled by two great beasts. Now Thor's chariot was pulled by goats, but the imagery is similar. A mix between Woden, that's Odin, and Thor. An avenging grizzled lord. As the father, his word is law, but also as a uniquely human, bluff and jolly figure who can rouse the spirits as much as defeat the myriad monsters he's set against. And old. Very old, even for a space marine, yet not broken down, not holding on, but bounding into the future with all of the verve and vigor of the young wolf who plows into the snow dunes for the sheer joy of it. He will fight any no matter their rank, no matter their power, no matter their size. For he is a true son of the greater wolf, Leman Russ. And in the future, we shall hear how he defeated a demigod, fought a war with another, and gainsayed the Grey Knights and Ordo Malleus, the demon hunter wing of Holy Inquisition itself. And look at it! This is why we did it today. Okay, it is very, very good as a standard figure, but also, just look at it now! It's Santa! But with, well, Warhammer Santa! Yes, I definitely want one for next year. I have been Baltimore, your faithful servant. I hope you've enjoyed this brief introduction to the legendary Logan Grimnar. If so, then please do consider liking and subscribing. If you do, then hit the notifications button, as I would not want you to miss out. Now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Toodaloo.